Joining me for our next edition of Coach's Clinic is Cowboys secondary coach Jerome Henderson. And not only do we have a coach, we got a guy that played in the National Football League. So you're going to give our guys over here a few tips on how to play cornerback. Why don't you kind of explain to me first the first thing you're going to try to show these guys?
Well, first thing we're going to do is talk about press man. We have corners that we ask to play a lot of man-to-man, and it's a skill that they've got to be good at. So I'm going to teach these guys and get a little practice at it.
All right, well, let me get out of the way, and Jerome, take it away.
All right, so I'll have one of you guys be my defender to start, and one will be the receiver. All right, so you'll be the receiver, you're the defender. All right, this is the good guy, that's the bad guy. We don't like bad guys. All right, so what I like to do when I'm playing press is I want to line up, and we're going to talk about first thing is your alignment. Your alignment is 1.5 yards away from him. So we like to come a little bit closer. It's right about in there, all right? So I want to be here. Assuming the ball's inside, I want to be slightly inside leverage, protecting the field, right? Once I'm in that alignment, now what I want to do is squat down and get comfortable because my first steps, but I want my feet parallel, because my first steps are going to be lateral with a little bit of a dropped hip, whichever way he starts, right? So I want to be my weight down so that I can move explosively, not this way or that way, but this way and that way. So I want to think my first movements are going to be this way or that way, all right? Now, once the receiver moves and he starts to release, right, you want to let him go where he wants to go. We don't want to play with our hands. That's what gets cornerbacks in trouble, when they use their hands too early and it gives the receiver a target to block. So what I want to do is let him go the direction he goes, and as he goes, I want to what we call kick step in the direction of his release. So I want to take a little bit of a slight dropped right leg if he's going that way, but keep my shoulders as square as I can to the line of scrimmage. So I want to move that way. And every time I can do that, I make him go further to get away from me, right? So I want to move like that to cut him off, but staying as square as I can to the line of scrimmage, all right? Now, the target we have is we want to make this guy go 3 yards wider or tighter than his initial alignment. So if he starts here, I want to be able to get him close to the sideline by kicking and moving him. If he goes inside, again, I want to get him in there close to Coach Mick over there if he goes inside, right? And I want to move him 3 yards. And I want to end up in a position where I'm moved in here and I'm still on top of him and I'm protecting the field, the end zone from him, all right? So as he goes, you'll kick step right. Perfect. Now, I purposefully didn't address one part of this press thing because it's the thing that I think gets corners in trouble the most, and that's using their hands too early. I want them to use their hands, but I want them to learn to play with their feet first. All right, so the next thing is using your hands.
Okay.
It's kind of the icing on the cake.
All right.
You have to eat your vegetables first.
Okay, go ahead, let him eat.
All right, so as I make my kick step, as he gets close enough, I'd like to get a jam that's in his chest while I'm still square in this position that knocks him up and back. And now I'm in control of the receiver, I'm in control of the release. I'm really disruptive now, and I'd like to really be forceful with my hands, and then I'm gonna finish and play the rest of the way. All right, but again, that's the icing on the cake. I don't want to do that initially because when I do it early, it's a target for the receiver and he can use it to against me to lock my hips up. All right, so jump back in. All right, we're going just half speed, and I want you to try to use your hands. And now run with him. All right, there you go.
Well, with Jerome, with advice like that, anybody can play cornerback.
Oh yeah, this is easy.
Okay, that's our Coach's Clinic for this week. Jerome Henderson, I'm Mickey Spagnola. Back to you guys.